Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for Knockout TV.
Welcome to KnockOut TV. I am Tim Pileski, joined by one of the greatest faces in boxing, Lou Duva. Lou, you've been in the business about 60 years now?
60 years, about 70.
70 years in boxing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay here until I get it right.
Well, you've gotten it right. You've gotten a lot of world champions.
Yeah.
Now, it started with Joey Jordella.
That was my first champion down in Atlantic City.
Okay.
On December 7th, 1963.
You remember it like it was yesterday, right? He beat Dick Tiger.
Atlantic City, Dick Tiger beat.
Now, Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
Now, let's go this. You know what I remember?
Yeah.
I remember Ice World. I remember the fights in Totowa for all our New Jersey, viewers. You used to put on some great had some great fighters.
That was the prime of my life. I loved it down there, and I loved it because I was bringing up my family at the time. My two sons, my daughters, my three daughters. They all worked over there. They all worked, and we were fortunate to get into the Olympics. I had like Holyfield, Purnell, and all that. I wound up with 19 world champions.
Yes.
And 9 gold medal winners. And I had Rocky Lockridge, Leo Randolph, Johnny Bumpers.
Yeah.
You name them, and I had them.
It was funny because everybody talks about that 76 Olympic team. That 80 Olympic team was great. Mark Breland. And you had most of those guys, correct?
I had 5. I put 5 in there. I won 4. I should have won the 5th one. They robbed me with Holyfield and Kevin Barrett from New Zealand.
Yeah, that was a disgrace, but we all remember that.
But hey, it was boxing. The good thing about amateur boxing is maybe to work yourself up into a situation when you get into the Olympics.
Right.
The good thing about amateur boxing is also some kids don't understand. You don't have to fight for your life. You can get yourself a scholarship, like Notre Dame and stuff.
That's right. That's right. Notre Dame has boxing.
Marquette has boxing.
Yes.
They got boxing, and you can get scholarships. If you can't make it in football or basketball or baseball, you can make it in boxing. You can do it. They don't. I had a meeting with them, the people at the Olympics out in Colorado Springs last month, and they don't advertise it enough that the kids give them someplace to go, give them someplace to go, give them something to do, and they can go to college.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the amateur boxing is what it used to be. Are we losing a lot of kids to basketball? A lot of these better athletes to other sports?
Yeah, I think so. I think you usually lose them to other sports. Plus that. They don't give them enough incentives. They don't give them, what is so wrong about local colleges? Like you take the Jersey Gloves.
Right.
What's so wrong about giving Rutgers, William Patterson College, and all, let them come up with some scholarship for kids?
You're right.
To go to school.
You're right.
And I keep saying that we're beating ourselves. And give the kids a chance to go get an education besides being a fighter.
That's true.
Don't be a fighter just to be a fighter.
That's right.
Be a fighter on the sense and say, when I have had enough. They got to know when they had enough. That's it, And I think the boxing right now we're in trouble. We got too many damn problems there that they don't address it to. You haven't got the right people that are addressing it too. Maybe I hope to get guys. I hope they get. One day I'm looking for a sit down with Emmanuel Stewart, with Angelo Dundee, myself. Get about six, eight guys, and sit down with some so-called politicians like McCain was trying to put up the Muhammad Ali bill, and say, hey, what can we do to better the kids? And now you always come up with the thing, I'm saying it's got to be gloves, not guns. Gloves,
that's well
guns.
said.
You know, and help the kid on the street. You know, when I was boxing amateur, that's how you say how long I was in it. In Patterson, that was when they had the Patterson News going. Nate Green was the editor. And we had, a lot of walking cops at that time. And I respected the cops, and they respected us, and they knew what we were all about.
Exactly.
And if they saw us on a corner, and they said, Lou, what are you doing on the corner? Well, I'm waiting for no excuses. If you loused up, and if, understand you got in trouble, you're out of the tournament. They would put you out of the tournament.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go out of no tournament. Boxing was my business, so I never got in trouble.
That's great. Now, boxing eras, okay? We talk about the old days.
Right.
What was the greatest boxing era in your mind? You know, as far as just the sport? Or do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite boxing era? I mean, you've been around it for, over 60 years.
Well, the era, I mean, I had my kid, Pernell Whitaker, when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez.
Wow.
I thought he beat, everybody thought he beat Chavez. In fact, the Mexican people who are one of the best fight fans in boxing were down in San Antonio where we had the fight. And after the fight, the place was jammed, like about 60,000 people there. After it was over, there's a place here that we all eat. They hold about 1,000 people by the name of Mi Tierras. That's my earth. And after everything, the fight, I took all the corner, about 15 people. Let's go down to Mi Tierra, let's eat, and let's forget about the damn thing. One woman in there, the place was jammed. The place was jammed, and as one, they got up. And they start cheering me. And they start cheering
really?
me. And not so much the cheering me. The cheer was Lou.
Your boy won.
Pernell win the fight.
Nice.
Pernell win the fight.
Nice.
Pernell win the fight.
Yeah.
And that was one of my greatest moments. I mean, the guy, one of my greatest moments was that, like, I talk about so many moments that I had.
Oh, you've had so many of them.
About Evander Holyfield.
Sure.
Buster Douglas had just knocked out Mike Tyson.
Yep.
They made the fight. We had the fight. We had the winner. We thought we were going to fight Tyson. We wanted to fight. And we were at the Mirage in Las Vegas. And I'm walking down the aisle. All week I'm telling everybody, let me tell you something, all the press here. We're going to knock him out. And when I knock him out, you're going to see me going corner to corner and going, Rocky, this is for you. Remember what I'm telling you. You're going to say, Rocky, this is for you. Going down the aisle to the fight, who I see? And he's hollering over to me, Tommy Lacerda.
Really? Yeah, sure.
Hey, hello, what's going to happen? 3 rounds. Was you going to take a dive? No, not take a dive. We're knocking them out.
Oh, he thought your boy was going down in 3? That's wrong.
We're knocking them out in 3 rounds. Oh, Lou, he just knocked out Tyson. Take your seat and watch the fight.
Nice.
After the fight's over, I'm running to each corner. Rocky, this is for you. Rocky, this is for you. As things happened, Peter Marciano, Rocky's brother, was working at the Sands. And he grabbed my foot. He said, Lou, he said, is that for Rocky? I said, oh, boy, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Going out the ring, who do I run into but Sylvester Stallone? And he had a couple guys, Don Johnson from the Miami Vice and all that. And he says, hey, Lou, that was nice about you saying about the, Rocky, this is for you.
Yeah, let's get that straight.
It wasn't for you. It was for Rocky Marciano. And he turned around and he said, oh, that's even better. He says,
oh, okay.
He showed his class.
That is class.
But I've had so many in Paris. In Paris, when Pernell Whitaker fought Jose Ramirez, for the championship, he beat him hands down. The people over there booed the heck out of the fight when they gave the decision to Ramirez. But naturally, Sullivan was there. It was Don King's fighter. Yep. I grabbed the microphone and I said, "Let me tell you something. I'm going back home, and I'm going to demand an investigation. I can't get an investigation here. I'm going to go back home and get an investigation." My son Danny was a lawyer, and he was in charge of main events at the time. Go back there and tell them, what do you want me to do that? Subpoena their books. We subpoenaed their books. We sent that over to the subpoenas. We get a call right away. Forget about it. He says, let's sit down and make a date for the new fight. And Pernell says, Lou, he won't hit me one punch, and I'm going to have him on the floor. We fought in Hampton, Virginia, on a snowy day. I don't know where the people came from. We had about 5,000 people there.
Purnell was from down there, so he had a lot of fans,
And he beat him easy. And like he said, he didn't hit him one punch, and Purnell had him on the floor.
Well, what a skilled fighter.
I say, and we had so many things. You know, you take the other time, you got robbed when I had Melody Taylor fight.
Oh, God.
Chavez.
What's Well, as
I say, that's the business.
That is the business. You know, we talked a little bit about Rocky Marciano. Now, Rocky Marciano was the only undefeated retired champion. Okay, now let me ask you before you answer. I know you were good friends with him. Overrated or underrated?
No, underrated.
Underrated, okay.
Number one, let me ask you.
Okay, because you know what, I'm sorry to interrupt. He's never mentioned as one of the best, you know? He went undefeated. Why? Tell me why, Lou.
You just said the magic word.
Tell me why.
He was undefeated.
Yes, exactly.
You know, when people ask me, who do you think was the best heavyweight, I say Rocky Marciano.
Do you say that? Do you say that? Good,
Lou.
Good.
Now, Joe Louis was a good friend of mine.
Sure.
You know, I'd put a memorial up for him up in Pumpkin Lake on Doc Beard's camp. Got a big thing. Like I put one up right now in Patterson of Lou Costello.
Yeah.
And people ask me, you know, what makes you say Rocky? Rocky, he was sloppy. No. He wasn't sloppy. That was his style, number one. But when he hit you, you could be losing 10 rounds and knock out in the 11th.
And he's done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, and the best thing about it is, who beat him?
Yeah.
And I said,
well, you can't argue that.
Come on. And I tell him, I said, as far as I'm concerned, if you're looking for a stylistic guy, he wasn't him. Right. If you look for a guy like a Billy Conn or Ezra Charles or even Joe Walcott, you haven't got that.
Right.
But if you look for a guy that the fight fan would love to see fight and come to see him fight, nobody but Rocky Marciano.
That's well said, because there's not many fighters that people want to go see. Like now, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a fan? He's great.
He's a good fighter.
But but he's not real fun to watch. Do you agree?
No. Yeah. That's right. I think that it's just a matter of time. You know, he gets caught up with. Right now, boxing is becoming a sport, a financial sport. It's becoming.
Yeah.
You know, and naturally everybody wants to make as much money as could, and nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, you got to fight people. Look. They took Mayweather. Mm-hmm. Could he have carried Rocky Graziano's bag? Could he have carried Jake LaMotta's bag? Could he have carried Sugar Ray Leonard's bag? Come on. And that's when they tell me their weight, and I'll tell you, okay. They tell me about all these other guys. Rob Jones, who's my personal friend, understand? Right. But I kid him all the time. Say, Ron, you ever hear of Marcel Sedan? Did you ever hear of Archie Moore? Did you ever hear of any of those guys? Yeah, I heard of them. What do you think? I know you can say, couldn't carry the bag. You're right. I watched him on tape. But that's the thing. That's boxing.
It is boxing.
You know, you got the big thing about boxing. You got to be capable of putting a show on for the people and giving them a fight that when they spent that money. Now I hear some of these prices down to $1,500 and stuff like that, $1,000 and $500. That's ridiculous. Then most of the stuff is going on pay-per-view. You got to pay $59.95, right. $45.95. How about a guy that's a fight fan and he makes $300 a week? How many times can he watch?
You're right. You're right. Plus, you know what? It seems like they fight not to lose. They don't fight to win. It's it's all about money. And you can say we've had fighters on here, and they don't want to get hurt. And they just want to go to that next fight, and it's really not fan friendly.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you want to see that fight Saturday between Carl Zagney and Hopkins again?
No.
And he got $8 million.
No.
Hopkins got $8 million.
He's not. I love him, but I don't want to watch him.
Listen, I get along with all those guys, but the reason I get along with them because I tell them the truth. Yeah. And I tell them what I think about them, and I tell them who they should fight. See, you got to understand one thing. Some of these trainers and some of these managers aren't like the before. I always match my guys according to style. So to give a good fight and a good fight for the fight fans. They don't do that today.
No,
They're just
no.
working like a stick of a bank.
No.
That's all they're concerned about.
You know what's funny? Bernard Hopkins fought Winky Wright.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if me and you talked and we said, okay, what's your prediction? I would have said a draw.
Yeah.
Because they don't, they do enough to not get hurt, and they win by that much. Bernard Hopkins is a perfect example.
Oh, absolutely.
He doesn't change his style. If he's down 10 rounds to nothing, he's not coming out brawling.
We were sitting there, about 8 of us, Saturday night watching a fight at my daughter's house, and about the 6th round, she said, "Dad, looks like Hopkins maybe winning the fight close. What do you think?" I said, "He's out of the gas. He'll watch the other guy come on, and the other guy can't fight either." But even Calzaghe, how could a guy like that be 43-0?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, there's too many guys. You take a guy like even like Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns, they couldn't fight those kind of guys.
Oh God, no.
They would take him out of there, And again, it's the style, it's the era that the fighters are in, and for you as a competitor, when they ask you, what do you think about this guy? When I say, what era are you talking about? Are you talking about the 40s? You're talking about the 50s?
That's
You're
it.
talking about that,
That's it.
And let them designate an area and say, fine, what about this guy? He was fine in this area. What about this guy? He was fine. What would he have done with him? And that's the way I take the fighters. I take them, hey, I mean, it's a tough game.
Yeah, very tough.
Hey, I'm proud of every guy that's out there that puts a glove on. When they get in that ring, I'm proud of them, But I don't want them to get hurt. Like they got their ultimate fighting on going on right now. I hate it.
I hate it too.
Because when I see those guys on the floor punching the heck out of each other, understand? I said, what the hell is that? Go down to the bar and get a beer, and you'll see the same thing in the bar.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. Now, Evander Holyfield, I'm going to ask you this.
Sure.
Was he an overachiever, Evander Holyfield?
Sure.
Do you think?
I had a deal, and don't forget this. After the first bout fight, when he lost, we had a deal that he was going to retire after the fight.
Okay.
He had $300 million. He had $1 million home down in Houston. He didn't go for nothing. Even when we used to go out to eat, he never picked up a check.
Okay.
But the thing is, he was a good guy, a real good guy. Did a lot for the churches, did a lot for the kids. But he shouldn't fight that. People don't understand that you take a lot of punches.
Oh.
You take a lot of punches, and you take too many punches, and there's only one punch that's going to do it. I mean, talk to some of these guys, and some of these guys, they just fucking talk, and the reason for that is only one reason. Bad managers,
True.
bad promoters, and the bad TV people.
Yeah.
They want to see a fight, and
Exactly.
they don't care about you.
They don't care about you as a human being. You know what fight that rings a bell with me is when Holyfield fought George Foreman.
Yeah.
That was scary. That
Sure.
was the punches thrown and the blow and the
blow,
oh my God! I remember after that fight when you went up. Nice fight, George. Nice fight,
I
George.
remember that.
That was a crazy. I couldn't believe the punishment those guys took.
In fact, Angelo Dundee, that's my personal friend, and he said the same thing. He was ready to stop it, but George wanted to keep going. And if you watch the tape, you'll see him wobbling back there a couple of times. But it's boxing. It's boxing, and any way you look at it, there's got to be a right and a wrong. And I would hope that they come up with a better system. I would hope they come up with people that know about the sport rather than political appointments.
Well, that's true.
I wish they would come up with people that have been in a ring, know what it's all about. I mean, I just even a fight Saturday, the woman had Hopkins winning. I said, what the hell fight was she watching?
I know. That's the thing.
And everybody around me is hollering, wait, what was she watching?
Exactly. And they're the paid judges. It's terrible. Now, is there a fighter today that you love to watch?
Yeah, me.
I love to watch you too, Lou.
I got a couple of good kids, right now. I got Oscar Diaz. Right now, you don't know how it happened, but it happened. I got 2 guys fighting on the same night.
Okay.
I got my Sean George fighting Chris Bird in Las Vegas, and on the same night I got my Mike Marone fighting for the WBC Youth Championship in Germany, in Nuremberg, Germany.
So how do you pick? What do you do? You
Well, my
take the better
son-in-law-
vacation? What do you do?
My son-in-law is going to Vegas to take care of Sean,
Okay.
and he's got a hell of a shot of beating. Right now he's training with
Chris
Giro
Bird?
for Southpaw, and then I'm going with. I want to get this kid going. He's 15-0, good kid, but it's not only that they're pretty good fighters; they're good outside the ring.
That's very important.
And to me, that means, when they can eat with me, when I can bring them my an Italian meal and stay over there, when I know that there's something wrong on his mind and I straighten it out for him, that's the kid I want. I want him as my son.
Exactly.
I don't want him as just a money thing.
No. You want to feel it inside. You know, that's what.
right.
That's another reason you're in this
Hey,
business.
that's
and you love
right.
it.
I love it. Even around here now, you take around here in Northern Jersey, there's some good kids around here. There's no good promoters around here, but my daughter, Donna Brooks,
Right.
she's going ahead and she's starting to put shows together now. We're putting one together in San Antonio right now, San Antonio, Texas, with Oscar Diaz. He's going to be fighting down there. So I'm going to just keep it going until they carry me out. You know, the closest I came was in Galata and Bow fight.
Yeah. Now you want to. We'll take a break and we're going to talk about that because they did carry you out, didn't they?
That's right, and I tell you, they almost killed me carrying me out. I just put me held back in the ring. It's safer.
It was safer in the ring. All right, we're going to.